Hi there, this is a video for people who work at a supplier or what we call a delivery partner. A delivery partner is a third sector organisation or community council, parish council, or other kind of organisation who is involved in the delivery of a benefit or who represents the people that ultimately benefit from it. So for these two types of organisations, you still have an administrator and users, so you have the separation between people who can do everything, people that just do the focus task, and the focus task is really uploading, evidence and scores for the benefits that your customers or the public organisation that you're working with ask you to do, as well as downloading reports. But administrators have a few other functions, so I'm just going to run you through those first. So as an administrator, you can invite your employees to join your organisation, and that's a case of filling in their first name, last name, email address, telephone number, and deciding whether they are a user or also an admin. You invite them. They get an email with a unique link which they can click to create their account and their profile. And you can also edit your own profile information, your own first name, last name, PAN number, change your password, change your email. Otherwise, you can edit your employees, so you can come and edit their details. You can archive them if they no longer work for you, and you can edit your organisation name. I should say, maybe at this point, if you're an SME, you probably just want to have one organisation in Cenefits, and that organisation gets invited to whichever public organisations you end up working with. Whereas if you're a larger organisation, it may be that you have different business units based on different functions or different regions of the country. And in that case, you might want to have more than one, or be happy to have more than one organisation in Cenefits, so that the right unit can be invited to the right contract. But however you do it, you can have one or more admins who fulfill these functions of inviting people to your organisation, and also who assign contracts and benefits to particular employees. So the main other function of the admin, as I've just indicated, is the ability to search for a particular contract, and then to select everything that's in that contract, all the benefits, or maybe select individual benefits. But I guess in most cases you'd be selecting all of them. Selecting the employee you want to assign those benefits to, and then clicking assign. And what that's going to do is it's going to assign those benefits to that user, so that they receive all of the email notifications reminding them to submit evidence and scores, instead of you, the administrator. In many cases, well, I guess for the smallest organisations, maybe the person who is an administrator is also the person who is going to upload evidence and scores, in which case they don't need to actually assign it to anyone. But for medium and large organisations, usually the administrator or administrators will be people that are fulfilling an administrative function, and the actual people who are working on the projects, the project managers, or maybe a community benefits officer or social value officer, if you have one, will be doing the work of providing evidence and scores. You can also, if there's a really large number of items here, you can also apply additional filters from this list, based on some of the other things that are stored on the contract and the benefit model. The main thing that you're going to be doing, or your employees will be doing in Cenefits, is uploading evidence of what's been going on in the benefits that you've been working on. And when the public organisation assigns you to a benefit, by default the administrators will see the things that they need to upload, unless you've assigned it to an employee, in which case they would just see the things that they need to upload. But for each benefit, there are a set of delivery dates. There's a start date and an end date for each of them, but in some cases they may have interim delivery dates as well. And for each of those dates, you'll receive an email, or the person who's assigned to the benefit will receive an email with a unique link to which they can click and come straight to the page where they can upload evidence, or if they're in the application anyway, either on the web or on mobile, they can just look at this list, upload evidence, where only things which are due to be worked on, to have evidence submitted, should show up, and it should also be ordered by how urgently you need to do each thing. So the most urgent things are at the top. So let's start at the top here and have a look at it. So in this case, we've got a final delivery date, so we select the relevant date out of all the dates that are available. In this case, there's only one left. I can look at the information which describes the contract and the benefit outcome and what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I can type in some evidence about that benefit. If it includes personally identifiable information, if that's something that the public organisation is happy for you to submit in their guidance, if they've issued it, then you can also tick this box here, which will make it clear that it includes that information from a GDPR point of view. You can create the evidence, and at that point you can then also attach one or more documents or photographs to the evidence before you finally submit it for approval. Once you've submitted evidence for approval, an email will be sent to the public organisation's contract manager, who can then click on it and review it and either approve or reject it. If they approve it, then you will be able to work on other evidences or wait until some future time for another delivery date to elapse. Or if they reject it, they'll leave a message with a rejection, and in the email that you get, it will explain why it's been rejected. And typically that would be because maybe you haven't fulfilled their guidance, you haven't provided the evidence in sufficient detail or quality, or maybe you've included personally identifiable information and they don't want you to, or you haven't checked this box, in which case you can just come back here and edit the information and then resubmit it, and then they can approve or reject it again. Once a benefit has been marked as completed, so once the contract manager for the public organisation has decided that they have sufficient evidence for each of the delivery dates from as many parties as they want, then they can mark that benefit as completed, and you'll be sent, or the employee you've assigned to the benefit will be sent an email asking for feedback for a score. This is not the case for delivery partners. It's just something that the suppliers will receive. And in that case, again, you can click on the link in the email, or you can come to the upload scores page, click on one of the scores, again review the information about the contract and the benefit. You can select one of these scores. You have a choice of good, satisfactory, or improvements possible. You can type in an explanation for the score. Again, if it's got personal identifiable information, you can check this box. You can save it, upload documents or photos, and then submit it for approval again. And there's another process very similar to the other one where the contract manager will be able to approve or reject the score. If they approve it, you'll get an email just confirming that, and that's you done with that benefit. Or if they reject it, again there'll be a message, and you can come back here and you can edit it and then resubmit it. And that's just the process that happens for each benefit in each contract. Once you've completed a contract, maybe you want to download a report of it, or even whilst it's ongoing, you might want to download a report. There are two kinds of reports you can download. One is for benefits, and one is for contracts. And the way you filter this page is very similar for both of those. So you can click on filter here to filter the page based on any of the fields here for contracts and benefits. And you can also click on the Excel or the open document file format here to determine what kind of file you want to output. Once you filter the page, you can either select download all to download everything that you filtered, or you can select whole pages or individual items on pages to select exactly what you want to download, and then just click on download selected and you'll get the file. In some cases, if there's a lot of people using the application at once, downloading things is computationally expensive, so we may send you an email with a link to download it after a bit of time. I think that's relatively unlikely to happen because we have a lot of processing power available. I'll just show you the files quickly actually. So the benefits file here, it has all the basic information about the benefits themselves, as well as who the actual assessors, suppliers, delivery partners are, and then it has the actual textual information from the evidence provided by the assessors at the public organisation, yourselves as either a supplier or a delivery partner, and some other indicators about whether there's anything pending, any pending approvals for evidence or scores or rejections or any file attachments. So it's just quite a handy file to download and see your current status at any one time. A snapshot we say at any one time. You've also got this contracts report. Again, it's just the essential information about the contract. Who the contract managers are, who the supplier administrators are, and then at the end we have a sort of aggregated list showing the total benefit count, benefit points, and benefit value, but with the amount that have actually been completed as well shown next to them. So it gives you a good overview of where you're at with that contract. As well as all of that, you also have a support site. You can click on tech support here and it'll load up, and that's essentially a site where we've provided articles that explain how to use the application. The most interesting ones are going to be the supplier and delivery partner articles here, so there's 5 of those. But you may also want to access the glossary to understand what some of the terms we've chosen to use are, like shared benefits, or who admins or contract managers or assessors are. And we've also got an FAQ, some of which might be relevant to you as well, like understanding a typical contract life cycle and Cenefits. What does it look like? This is really the entire process from the point of view of the public organisation. It might be interesting for you to look at that so you can understand what's going on. We've also got questions about future features, how you can install it on your phone or tablet, and some technical points here, like expanding the columns within download reports quickly, or making sure emails don't go to your spam folder. So we've got a few things there. And if you've got any questions at all about Cenefits, then just do come to the support site and send us a message about it. And, we're really keen to hear about anything at all, really, anything you're struggling with, or any problems you find, any bugs, or any questions. Please just do feel free to write us a message and about it, and we'll go back to you. Obviously, in some cases, the questions, if they're about the contracts or the benefits themselves, that's not something that we can deal with. Those are really questions for your customer or your public organisation you're working with. But for the technical questions, please do send us a message. Thank you very much for this. Hopefully that's been helpful to help you understand how to use Cenefits. This video was recorded at the end of July 2019. I'll try to record a new one as we develop any major new features. Thank you. Bye bye.